Hey guys, Max here from the Car Review Club. Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here today with the Kia Sportage GT Line S, and in today's video we're going to be answering some of the most asked questions about this car, including some comments that I've been asked about this car from our previous videos, which has now got over 35,000 views across two of them, so really appreciate all the support to the channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the way that Kia Connect works is really cool actually. It's not the same in terms of functionality as that of the electric cars like the EV6, where you can do more on the app. But if I just go ahead and click on Kia Connect, you'll be able to see exactly what you can see on the car. I actually think it's pretty unreal actually. The first thing that got my attention was this this sports button here. So let's say that you're driving on a long trip, you can't obviously watch the football match, let's say. So if I click on sports right here, and I go to football, what this will do is it'll actually tell you the scores, the venues, everything of the system. So look, if I go to Premier League, it will tell me, look, so Aston Villa versus Arsenal, it was 4-2 to Arsenal, which was a good result. But yeah, you can literally like scroll down, it shows you everything. I think that's really cool, and it's not just for football as well. It works for golf and basketball and baseball, but this is off season. So for those of you who are interested in those sports, it's really cool. The next thing is it just shows you kind of vehicle diagnostics, so it'll just give you an update on everything to do with your vehicle. So like this, so it just shows me that everything is completely normal with everything in the car. If anything changes, I'm sure it will let me know that the status has changed, which is great. You can't actually click into any of these, it just says normal, which is good. It means the car's working how it should. And then you've also got your Kia Connect settings, where you can just change everything, which is great. And then you've also got your weather. So we're based here in Kings Langley, and as you can see, it tells you the weather forecast for 3 hours, 6 hours, yeah, we've then also got a forecast also. So you can see here we've got a forecast here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well, which is awesome. And then the last thing is just the calendar, but of course you have to synchronize the calendar, and my mum hasn't actually linked her calendar, and even if she did, I probably wouldn't show it to you guys because that is personal. But yeah, this is how the Kia Connect works, and yeah, I think it's really cool. Alright guys, so for those of you who are looking at getting the Kia Sportage, my mum has done, or we've done 2,555 miles in this car so far since they have had it. A total of 117.17 hours and 17 minutes. And as you can see, the total MPG that you're roughly going to get from the Kia Sportage is going to be about 39.4. Now, a lot of you might be thinking that's not great. You know what, to be honest, I would have expected more as well. My mum does a lot of motorway driving. She also drives in stop-start traffic in the morning to get to work, so it kind of is real-world testing. So that's probably what you're likely to get across the course of the kind of first 2,500 miles. But we can see here that since refueling, she's actually got 44.7 mile per gallon. So I think it really depends on where you're driving, how you're driving, how much of the battery you're using, etc. So for those people who have been asking what these buttons here do on the center console, let me show it to you. So you have a row of buttons here, and a row of buttons here, and one right here. So this middle button here is for the heated steering wheel. So it will heat up the steering wheel, the base of it. So if it's very cold in the morning, it should heat up quite quickly for you. It does feel quite nice when it is fully heated, but it does get quite hot. So I turn it off once it's at an optimum temperature for you. The other buttons are these two here and these two here, and they're exactly the same. This is for the driver's seat and this is for the passenger seat. This one here is for heated seats, so as you can see it goes orange. This one here is for your air conditioned seat, so it doesn't matter whether it's hot or cold outside. The Kia Sportage has these interchangeable seats that work for you however you want, and you can obviously make those whatever temperature you want. That also works on this side here, so you can see orange for heated seats and then blue for air conditioned seats. So for those of you who go to shops often or who put a lot of stuff in the boot and you might be carrying it and you just want to open the boot with the key, you can right here. What you got to do is you got to press the button here that looks like a boot option and it says hold, and I'll show you how quickly it opens for you. So you just hold this button, it makes a few beeping noises and it opens just like so. Not too bad, probably about 3 seconds or so. What I can do then is when I'm ready to shut the boot, you just want to press this button here and the boot will then go ahead and close, which is actually quite lovely. So for those of you who've been asking about kind of curbing your tires or your alloys with the Kia Sportage, you don't actually have to worry too much. It's got a really cool feature on these tires. So what I mean by this is most cars that have, you know, alloys as normal will have the alloys come out of the tire tread, so that actually when you go on a curb or something, or you go through a width restriction, the alloy will hit the width restriction or the curb before the tire. On the Kia side of things, if I go like this, as you can see, there's actually the tire overlaps the alloy. So what that means is that when it comes to you going over curbs or accidentally curbing your alloy, that won't be the case in the majority of times. You're going to have to do some real damage to actually get to the alloys here. It's more likely that you're just going to potentially damage the tires. So obviously I wouldn't advise you going over curbs or, you know, having to curb your wheels unnecessarily. But with the Kia, it's a lot safer. It won't cost you so much money because the alloys are hidden inside the tire. So yeah, as most people have probably noticed, there aren't actually any exhausts on the Kia Sportage. As you can see, you've got your light here, you've got a diffuser here, you've got your rear parking sensors, and then you've got the other light there. So where actually is the exhaust? Well, I'll show you. It's just under here. As you can see, there is the exhaust. It's just a single one. It is real. I'm not going to do Matt Watson's stick of truth that he does for Carwow. You can clearly see it's an actual exhaust, but they've hidden it quite well. I guess if that was actually on the exterior of the car, it would make it look a bit naff, but they've done a really good job with the diffuser of the rear. For all of those of you wondering if you can fit a whole set of golf clubs in the boot of the Kia Sportage, let me go ahead and show you how easy it is. I'm actually holding my phone. I've actually got one hand available, but I'll show you how simple it is. So you can just lift up your golf clubs and you can just put them in here. Now I have an Audi A1 and my golf clubs don't actually fit in the boot. You'll see here they fit perfectly. Sorry, it's a bit muddy, but yeah, you still have room for other things. I can push this back a bit. I mean, to be honest, it's still a bit squashed. I would have expected a bit more room in the boot so I could push it all the way back and I could fit a few other things in there if I was going on a golf trip for the weekend. But it definitely does fit, and you can just close the boot behind it. The other thing I like is it doesn't really have a very deep lip, so when I want to take them out, I can just kind of pull it over and there's not really any kind of problem, which is great. So yeah, that's that question answered. Very. Yes! As you can see here, pretty good.